Welcome. Welcome to our series UGC Net English Literature. I am Deepak, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar. I am here to discuss a new topic. New topic that we most of know about it. It is about a very famous book. All of you are advised by someone, either your student, friend, professor, or your companion. It can be senior, to purchase this book if you want to crack UGC net. And this very famous book is Abrams, A Glossary of Literary Terms. In this topic, I am going to tell why not to read this book. Yes, why not to read this book? And when I am saying why not to read this book, don't simply means do not. As it is one of the hardest book, if you check its vocabulary and language, it is very hard for students. But if you are a student from English medium, then this book is not tough for you. Definitely you will consider it much easy, but English medium schools are few and maximum of India's population is non-English speaking. There are several states where English is not as popular as compared to other language. For these students for English literature, this book proved to be tough. If not this book, why and what other? Secondly, in the first, second and third lecture of UGC net, I say you have to follow one base book. Without a base book, it would be very hard for you to crack UGC net. Then if I am saying do not follow this book or follow a book, then it would be a contradictory. But I am not saying not to follow this book entirely. I am just saying do not read this book. It does not mean that you have no need to follow it. If we are not following this book or reading this book, then what next? If you are scholar, definitely masters or MPhil PhD scholar, you are advised by everyone to read this book because it is a base book. Although it is base book, but for students it is very hard to crack it. So what we could do is to follow this book but not to read this book. Then how it is possible? Yeah, simply, for example, just go with the very first term, that is literature of the absurd. That is, you can simply say theater of absurd. And here are several things are defined: who invented the term and how it goes on, and who adopted it, and who are those other writer who perfected it, and Abu the King, Jerry French plays. These are things later on adopted by French Kafka and then Albert Camus' Myth of Sisyphus, and thereafter is a huge long chain. But if you go and check Wikipedia, then these terms or these things are defined in very easy language. And similarly, if you go with another term that is used by very famous romantic poet, that is negative capability, and John Keats, then you will find that the term, even the first line is very long. In the first paragraph you are having just one or two line. I think it is just two lines, and that paragraph is too huge. In that sense, getting or remembering these points are very tough. So what you can do, just either to make your separate notes instead of getting it. But if you are not getting the exact point, there is no use of making a note of yours. So go to Wikipedia page and there everything is mentioned. So what you can do, you can make this book as a base book and just look at the term. For example, if the term is negative, neoclassical or romantic, do not follow it. If you can do it, then do it. Otherwise, go to Wikipedia. Everything is much easily defined over there. So sometime it is said hard work is not important, but the smart work. So smart work you can do. If you are reading this book, then you will first read the book, then there are some hard words, then you will go to dictionary, and it will consume most long very big amount of time. So it is good that you could go to this Wikipedia page and read the content, understand the point, and note down systematically several example, and everything is mentioned there in detail. So instead of reading a hard book, then it would be easy for you to go with the easy things that are mentioned in a systematic way. Or you can use also another books like Penguin Glossary of Literary Term or Blackwell's literary term. Then their language is much easy as compared to this one, and these things make you more observable towards the thing, which one to adopt and which one to reject. So thing is that instead of getting hard work, you should go by the easy thing. And why again not to read this book is the point is that if you check the history of English literature, especially last year 20 years question paper, then terms are rarely asked. There are few terms that either it is theater of absurd or negative capability that are coming again and again. Rather, no one is asked what is sonnet or how many lines sonnet have. The question can be Spencerian sonnet or Shakespearean sonnet or Miltonic sonnet. Or in this way there can be distinguished between this and that or the lines difference, but no one is asking about what is the definition of sonnet. And in that sense things would be tough, and there would be hardly any question related to drama. What do you mean by drama? There is never any type of question what is the meaning of drama. So when you are reading this book, then you are wasting long time of yours. If you need extra knowledge, then surely you can go with this, but instead of following a book, then read it. And another thing is that we are fashion or trending person. We see something like if someone suggested this book, we purchase it at once. And there are several students who do not read this book. Rather they put it in their backyard in some table or decorate for a decoration kind of thing, instead of going through it. It is disrespect of a book if you are having it and not reading it. But when you it does not mean that this book is not good. This book is good, but for some certain perspective. And when I am saying do not read this book, it is only for those who are not being able to read the hard language. Its language is hard, that is why this book is not recommended, at least by me. And this is, I would say, instead of hard book, go with a slow pace or easy information that are available. Or you can also fetch notes from your friends or colleagues. That would be much better choice instead of getting a hard book. So it does not mean that all book are good or all book are bad. All book, what I think that everything is good and as well as bad, because it depend on us how we make it. So instead of going with this book, I will recommend you to go with some easy tricks or easy things. And with this I will finish. And you can check history how many time this type of question are asked. So there are nothing like that, so you can easily skip this book and rather follow Wikipedia, friends note, institute notes that define things in a easy terms. So with this I will say thank you. If you like video, do comment, subscribe and share the video with your friends. It will help us to flourish our channel. And I will come again for some good lecture to you. And till then, take care. Thank you. Goodbye.